Hey Birb Squad, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Victoriaryann. This is Popples, my QUAKER parrot. And up there is Yoshi, my green cheek conure. So this is my second, This is my second premiere video for 2019. Let me know in the comments which video you guys watched first. Was it all of my pets 2019 video or this one, my Bird Cage Tour of 2019? This is my first ever Bird Cage Tour. You guys have asked for this video for quite some time, but I just wasn't completely, I just didn't really feel ready for this kind of video because I was constantly making changes. And you guys know that I'm a fairly new bird owner. No. I have learned so much along the way in the past couple years. What works for my birds, what doesn't work. So I cannot wait to show you guys what I got going on over here. Without further ado, let's get into my Bird Cage Tour 2019. First of all, I want to say happy flipping New Year to all of you guys and the new members of the Birb Squad. So excited to have you here with me today. And also, my apologies for the crazy light going on. It has been raining where I live for the past week or two. It's been ridiculous. And this also isn't the best setup for light. As you can probably see, it's like light, dark. Yoshi and Popples love to spend time up on those two wood perches. I do the whittling. I'm a whittler. And I put the wood in the oven for a while, and then my husband mounts the perches up here because I don't understand like the little men tools that he uses. It also gets the family involved because you can really get very creative with the different setups for your birds. It may look like a crazy mess in this corner, but I'm telling you, they absolutely love it. So with this cage, I will find the exact one that I have and put it in the description box below. It's honestly a really good cage, and it's great for small parrots like my two little dudes. I will say that it's not made with the best, highest quality. Metal that's like the little bar thingies are a little loose. They're not very strong or durable. Now, if I had a bigger, larger bird like a macaw or even an eclectus, I'm not sure if this cage would necessarily work. That's all for you to decide with your own bird. But I will say for small parrots, this cage is more than enough. Also keep in mind, I'm not trying to hold back ferocious lions or wild boars in this cage. It's just these two dudes. So I don't need something like super crazy and high quality. And I could put a lot of money and invest in a very, very good high quality cage. But honestly, they're hardly in it. So I'm just like, I just needed something like smack dab in the middle. I just needed a good quality cage, but not a crazy price tag because, like I said, they're hardly in it. Since I have two birds, I'm very, very thankful that they get along so well and they see each other as, very close companions. They are like brothers. I mean, they all have their squabbles here and there, but it's nothing aggressive, and they've never shown any signs of aggression to each other that has me particularly worried. But with spring coming up and Popples is still young, I am worried about hormones. My cage setup may change in the spring. I may end up having two separate cages. So some of the things that I want to point out inside the cage. You will notice that I don't have a sleeping hut of any sorts in there. When I first got Yoshi, of course, my natural thing is to humanize the birds and I want to give him the comfiest bed in the world. I want to make him feel loved, and it's not a bad thing. I mean, it shows that you love the bird and you're concerned. But you also got to keep in mind that birds aren't humans. When I first got Yoshi, I got him one of those little cozy corners. You see them all the time in pet stores, especially chain pet stores. And that's what's kind of disappointing. When you're a first-time bird owner, you hope that you can go to the pet store and pick out whatever is there because you assume that everything at that pet store is just automatically safe for the birds because, it's at the pet store, right? But unfortunately, that's not the case, and you have to research every little thing that you do. It's very overwhelming, and it can be frustrating. And Yoshi absolutely loved both the hut and the cozy corner. I had both of them. And I had seen people say that those were dangerous and stuff, but then I was like, well, Yoshi has shown no signs of chewing on it and getting some of those strings out and eating them or anything like that. Bird may be perfectly okay with it. Yoshi's shown no signs of it. But I will say that is one of the most dangerous things that you can put inside the bird cage. And I just decided one day, I was like, you know what, it's not worth it. Even though he showed no signs of ever chewing on it, the fact that it was the most dangerous thing that you could put inside that bird cage, I was just like, does he really need it? No. So, I don't have the cozy corner anymore, but it was just like a little fabric thing that you literally tie in the corner of the bird's cage, and they would lean up against it and felt like a blanket was over them, you know, but it didn't cover them completely. This is actually the first hut that I got Yoshi. You see these a lot in pet stores. He absolutely loved it. He would just snuggle up in there every night. It was the cutest thing in the world. This is actually the second hut that I tried with Yoshi, and I thought it would be a cool upgrade because it was bigger and it was so soft, and I thought that he would absolutely love it, and he did. But then I got to the point that I was like, no, those are absolutely not good for them. It is a safety hazard, so I do recommend that you guys, even though it may be perfectly okay with your bird, I recommend that you just don't have those at all. Also, another safety issue that was actually a problem with my green cheek in particular that I wanted to make aware for you guys. One evening when my husband and I were playing video games, I all of a sudden heard Yoshi squawking like crazy. And of course we freaked out. I turned around and was like running over to him because he was flailing around. He had got his beak stuck in one of those cheap looking clips that hang bird toys. You probably see him more so on cheaper toys like at Walmart or whatever. Top part of his beak stuck in the opening of that clip. Freaked out, and thankfully we were able to get him out of there. He was fine. I think it just freaked him out more than anything. It freaked us out too. Removed those completely because I was scared to death of that happening again. It may never happen for your bird, but just to let you guys know to keep an eye out for stuff like that. I replaced all of them now with either thingies like this to where you can turn and it's secure and they can't get their beak in there. And also, one of the things too that I recommend to any bird owner, these things are amazing. These plastic clips. You can get like a pack of, I don't know, 100 of them for $7 on Amazon. Sometimes I'll give Yoshi and Popples a little freebie treat. I'll take like a little tiny stem of the millet and I will clip it in here onto the cage, and they absolutely love it. And also, this is such a fun toy, especially for Yoshi. Popples doesn't really give a poop, but Yoshi loves to hang on these, and he will swing back and forth. It's actually pretty comical. But it's plastic, so he can break it easily, he can move it, and get his beak out of there if necessary. Also, a lot of the Planet Pleasures toys that, you know, I absolutely love for my birds, they don't come with, like, metal clips or any clips whatsoever. So these are really handy to have to clip those toys onto the cage. And also, you can never lose them if you just hang them somewhere for your birds. They're always there. It's always very convenient for me, and I just absolutely love these things. I think something so small would make that big of a difference, but I'm telling you, these things are so nice to have around. Also, you'll notice this toy in particular that I have hanging isn't a toy that necessarily my birds like. It was a baby toy that Emery never used, and I had kept away in the closet. And I was like, you know what? That could actually work really well for the bird cage, because if you have a toddler, you may have noticed that they go through a phase where they are obsessed with closing doors. And so if you have toddlers, there's a little hack for you so they don't close doors on the birds. Also, I have this rope here connecting to the bird cage up to my curtain rod. At night, it's like their nightly ritual where they love sitting on that curtain rod, and they'll cuddle up at night and just kind of keep an eye on the living room, and it's just something that they like to do. So I just have this rope there for them. I used to have popsicles that were glued to where it looked like a little ladder, and they loved that. And I used Elmer's glue for that. That's a safe glue that you can use. I don't recommend hot glue guns or anything like that. I would just use Elmer's glue. But they ended up chewing up a lot of those popsicles. It wasn't because it was like old popsicle flavoring still on the stick. They just like chewing on it. So I was worried about them getting splinters and stuff. So I was just like, meh, they do fine walking up and down this rope as is, so I just left it. You'll see inside the cage too that I have some foraging toys. There is a day that I have like a lot of errands to run in town and they are in their cage. There's plenty of foraging toys specifically in there to keep their mind active and to keep them busy so they don't get bored. There are a couple perches that I do want to replace. Not necessarily that they're just horrible for the birds, but if they were the only perches that they had, that would be bad for their feet and they could develop like sores and stuff, and we don't want that. But there are plenty of different natural surfaces that they can grab onto in different sizes that I'm not too worried about those couple other perches. But in the future, I am planning on removing them. This shelf in particular is actually, specifically, its sole purpose is to catch poop. And these are actually silverware drawers that you can get at like Walmart. They have that silicone-y kind of bottom, so it's super easy to clean. Anything that can make cleaning more convenient and easier, I'm all for it. The reason why there's rocks in there, Yoshi is a lot stronger than what you would think. He got to the point where he would, I'm not kidding, he would pick up those poop catchers and throw them down on the ground. I was worried that he would, in the process of throwing it down, get stuck on it in midair and, you know. I just put super heavy rocks in there that I know he cannot push off, and I observed him for a little while. Those are set. He can't move those. So I feel a lot better about that. So keep that in mind, too. If you have a bird that likes to pick up things and throw them over, keep that in mind. You guys probably heard in my green sheet video that at that time, I was just giving them water dishes. Both Popples and Yoshi love to take the pellets and dip it in the water and make conure soup, which was fine. It didn't bother me, but I did have to change the water like every couple hours or whatever because obviously bacteria and stuff would grow in that water, and that was just very unhealthy for them. They didn't take to the water bottle as quickly as I hoped, so I ended up getting a plastic one at first so I could squeeze the water while they were near it, and eventually they caught on that, oh, there's water coming out, and that's all they use. Water dish under its specific purpose is to catch the excess droppings, so it didn't get the bottom of the cage, and like the poop and the water wouldn't create like grossness. Ugh. Here you go. Your face is filthy, kiddo. But this is a little gym thing that I made out of PVC pipes. I ended up taking all the toys off and just making it into a movable purse. Like if I need it in the kitchen or whatever, I can just unhook this rope part and just take it with me, put it back, and I can also unhook this and move it too to rearrange stuff and change it up for my birds every now and then. And they really like that. Yoshi specifically loves to sit down there at times and just watch the living room. I think that's it. If you can think of anything that I missed or you want me to cover a little bit more, just ask in the comments and I'll be responding and let you know what I got going on over here. Let me know in the comments which video you guys went to first. Was it all of my pets video or this bird cage tour video? Let me know. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope that 2019 is an awesome year for you. I have a really good feeling that this year is going to be great for us as well. Don't forget to peck that subscribe button and join the Birb Squad. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!